Good morning. How is everybody? Good morning. Who's going to get the gold? So oh, the cat is still in the box. Sorry. My cat's climbed into my Sweaty Betty delivery. So, good morning, Jane. Gold medal for Jane. Kim Perry, silver medal. And Leanne Walters is a bronze. Do you want to know why those three have got? We have got a tribe hat trick this morning. 3 podium winners, all from the tribe, the monthly membership group. Good morning, Dawn, nearly. And Annalise, nearly. So, because I do a live on a Monday morning, it happens to be called Magic Monday, nothing to do with this. And I do a live at 6:30 a.m. every Monday morning just to get them going for the week. Sometimes, you know, they're full of rah, rah, rah. And other times I cry just like now. Because it's called real life. So lovely to see Tribers on here. And just to let you know, before I start, the Tribe is opening for one day only on Friday. Thought I'd join the Black Friday madness. I'm really not into stuff like that. And it's not due to open. It's due to open for 5 days in the middle of February, I think. Although I think we might have to be putting stuff back a bit. We'll see. So the Tribe wasn't going to open at all, but quite a few people have asked how do they join. So I'm opening it for one day only. But I'll be talking about it on here. I'll put posts on with links and everything. And if you're on my email list, you'll be getting an email. So I hope you've had a lovely weekend. If you saw my post last night, I got my tree lights done and I was thinking of you all as I was doing it. Honestly, I was thinking, oh God, I started going, oh, it'll end, I hate this job. Come on, Sally, come on. You see those tree lights outside, they just take forever. And anyway, well, I just did it and I was just thinking of you, thinking of the magic, thinking I just love the fact I get the chance to do it. And the sun was shining, the sky was blue. It was about 10 degrees, so usually my hands freeze off, so I was grateful for that. And, you know, I know a lot of us have started putting our Christmas decks up early, saying like that to COVID. But I'm going to do it like this again next year. Saturday was my indoor lights, Sunday was my outdoor lights, and then next weekend, the weekend after, I'll do my tree when they get delivered. So we can't just go to a normal garden centre and get one because they're not big enough. We have a big, massive 10-footer or more, 12. We've got to get a bigger one and chop the top off. So, because we can't fit all our decorations on a normal size tree. We can't. I tell you, no colour scheme in our house. So please do share. Don't forget, there's a platinum medal to be awarded for the. But when I come and check all the comments, which I always do, even this morning. This is why I was a bit late this morning. I was catching up on all previous videos, and even from 5 days ago. If there's a couple of people who've just started, I'd love to let them know that I've seen that they've started. So when I go through the comments, the first person to say shared gets a platinum medal. You know, I've just made that up, but I liked it. I like giving medals out. So shall we start? Hi, Denise. Hello again. So day 15, magically heal your relationships. So day 15, please do share. Let me know. Is that, let's have a look. Let me know. I've forgotten what I want you to let me know. What did I want you to let me know? I can't remember. Let me see if it comes to me. It's not coming to me, so I'm just going to have to continue. So please do share it. I was going to say let me know. It could be thanks, Beth, for sharing. It could be let me know what the weather's like and where you live, but I know it wasn't making me feel classy. Lovely, Debbie. So thank you for sharing, everybody. Massively appreciate. Honestly, there's still people joining in. Oh, that was it. We're just halfway through. I don't know if I've said that. Halfway through. We've got another 2 weeks of this, 7 a.m. live every morning. And it is not too late to join. Somebody could do just one video and it will make a difference to how they think, because they're the messages I'm getting. People just doing one and then they go back and start doing all the others in their own time. So why wouldn't you want to give that to somebody? So here we go. Magically heal your relationships. If you have a difficult or broken relationship, are suffering from a broken heart, or hold any resentment or blame toward another person for anything, you can change it through gratitude. Gratitude will magically improve any difficult relationship, whether that person is a husband or wife, brother or sister, son or daughter, partner, boss, business client, work colleague, mother or father-in-law, parent, friend or neighbour. When we are faced with a difficult relationship or a challenging situation in a relationship, in almost all cases, we're not in the least bit grateful for the other person. Instead, we're busy blaming the other person for the problems we have with them, and that means we don't have a single shred of gratitude. Blame is never going to make a relationship better, and it's never going to make your life better. In fact, the more you blame, the worse the relationship gets and the worse your life gets. Whether it's a current relationship or a past relationship, if you harbour bad feelings towards another person, practicing gratitude will eliminate those feelings. Why would you want to remove your bad feelings about another person? Why would you? If they've pissed you off, or they've done you bad, or they've been really mean to you, or they've been mean to your children, why would you want to eliminate those bad feelings? Surely you're entitled to think they're an arsehole, or actually I'm not that keen on you, or actually I've really gone off you, I used to like you, but you've proved too many times that you're unkind and you're selfish, so I don't want you in my life anymore. Why would we do that? Listen to Buddha. This is what he said. This is brilliant. So you need to just make sure you're listening. Are you listening? Share it, please, just for this one quote, because we all do it. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. So holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent at throwing it at someone else, but you are the one who gets burned. I mean, how amazing is that one line, honestly? Well, two lines, really. It's just, how many times do we do it? How many times do we hold on to bitterness and resentment and what we feel somebody else should have done? You know, I mean, I blame Simon all the time for stuff. It does my head in. It's always his fault. And even if it's my fault, I blame him if he doesn't let me have a rant. And then that makes me even worse. You know, so that's how it's always been. But I'm nowhere near as bad as I was. Dan said it's like drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. It exactly is. I mean, I'm so much better at this than I used to be. Certainly since doing this 5 years ago. I used to always harbour. I must admit, I've always been good at forgiveness. I always tend to forgive because if you've followed me for a while, you might know this little story. I'll interrupt myself and tell you it now. I remember it must be 20 years ago, more because it was before I had children, when I used to be managing H. Samuels, the jewellers, and Tuesday was my day off, Tuesday morning and Sundays, because we didn't work in retail Sundays then, that was before it all went mad. And it was a Tuesday morning. I used to lie in bed and watch Supermarket Sweep with Dale Winton, and then I'd watch Kilroy. I used to love Kilroy. I used to love it. It was the best chat show for me. It was a bit more classy than some of the others. And I'm a classy bird, as you know. And anyway, I watched Kilroy, and it was a thing on forgiveness. And I'll never forget. I mean, I must have been about 20 at this point, 22 or something. And so it was more than 20 years ago. And I remember, God, was it really that long ago? Bloody hell, fire, Sally. And I remember this old woman, she must have been like, well, she's old. She was probably about 50 or 60, wasn't she? You know, but she looked old and wrinkly. 50 or 60, she looked old and wrinkly. I thought she was about 80, but she wasn't. She won't have been. It's like how you view your teachers, isn't it? You always thought they were dead old. And now you look back and realise that when you were at school, they were 24. Oh, Sally, I'm delirious. I really am. But I go from crying on one video to laughing on the next. But it is, Deb. It's the same age as us. So anyway, this woman was on there. I'll get back to my story in a minute. Share it. I don't know, it's not even a funny story, but I've made myself laugh. She was on then, they were talking about forgiveness, and I'll never forget, and she was in the audience, she wasn't a guest, and there was some doctors and stuff on. There was one who wasn't forgiving, there was one who was, and there was a psychologist on the stage, and it was just fascinating. And you know, Kilroy always used to love himself, didn't he? And I used to like looking at him, because I thought, you're not my type, mate, but I love the way you love yourself. And I don't even know if he's still alive, is he? Kilroy Silk, Robert. And anyway, this older one was in the audience, and he went up with his long microphone. Well, I think it's disgraceful, she said. He said, what do you mean? Well, and she folded her arms like this. Well, I would never forgive, never ever forgive. If somebody's done wrong to me, they only have to do wrong once, and then that is it. And he was like, oh, gosh, that's a bit. And I just couldn't believe it. And she was sat there with her arms folded. And he said, well, what happened? Well, my neighbour, who we were best friends, we had this falling out, and she said something, and obviously it was just her side of the story. And never, that was it. Don't even speak to her. And he said, did you move? No, still live next to each other, but we never ever speak. I never speak to her. And he said, well, how long ago was this? Expecting it to be like last week. 22 years ago. 22 years. And she was dead proud. She was dead proud of herself that she'd not spoken to a neighbour for 22 years. And everybody was laughing, and she was like loving it. And I just remember thinking at that point, oh my God. And I didn't know about the magic and the gratitude then or anything. You know, I was in my 20s, but I remember having enough common sense to think she's carried that with her for 22 years with a neighbour next door, and she'll see her and she'll have all that burning hatred and bitterness, and oh God, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, fancy carrying that round with you. So that was a real lesson to me. So I've always been quite good at forgiveness, even if people really upset me. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I forgive. I might not forget. There's a big difference. So it really does make us think. Just have a think. If there's anybody, it doesn't have to be somebody close like your partner, but I'll read on and we'll just tell you. So, bad feelings about another person burn your life, but gratitude will eliminate them. For example, if you have an ex-partner who is connected to you through your children and the relationship isn't good, look at your children's faces and realise that they wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for your ex-partner. Your children's lives are one of the most precious gifts you have. Look at your children and give thanks to your ex-partner for their lives every single day. As well as bringing peace and harmony to the relationship through your example, you will be teaching your children the greatest tool for their life, which is gratitude. Now, I don't know, because I don't have an ex-partner, because Sam and I are still together. But I don't know what I'd be like there, because is that what you do? Would you look at your children? No, I'm just joking. Would you not look at your children? Now, say if your ex-partner had 4 affairs or something, he was an absolute dick. Say if you had a son and then he did something that he'd inherited from his dad, like a mannerism, because I love how children get mannerisms or a personality trait from either parents. So if your son looked like his dad or did something like his dad, I'd find it hard to be grateful. I'd think, oh my God, he's just like his bloody dad. So I'm just having a bit of tongue-in-cheek madness, so just bear with me. Of course you'd be grateful for your children, you know, but yeah. If you're suffering from a broken heart or grief due to relationship having ended, you can use gratitude's magical power to transform your pain. Gratitude magically transforms emotional pain into healing and happiness faster than anything else. And the story of my parents is a perfect example of that. But see, that's another hard one for me. This sounds ridiculous, but because I've been with Simon for so long, I only had like 2 or 3 boyfriends before him, and I ended all 3 relationships. So I've never... Sally, who do you think you are? I don't know what it's like to be dumped, just like I don't know what it's like to fail my driving test, because I passed first time. So I don't know what it feels like to have a broken heart through a relationship. And I might have. There's time yet. So they're probably not the best examples for me. Let me have a look. So I just got to see. So Dan, I do this all the time. My ex was really abusive and I'm so grateful because without him I wouldn't have my 2 kids and wouldn't be the strong person I am today. I got a tattoo of a lotus flower to remind myself that beautiful things. How amazing is that, Diane? Just brilliant, you know. I have got the giggles a bit, Lorraine, but I didn't on the last video in the tribe. I had a bit of a weep. So I think I've gone from one extreme to another. Let's have a look. Where am I? So Rhonda Burns has an example with a parent, so I'll just read it to you. When my father died, my mother understandably suffered from enormous grief. After months of suffering, she began to use gratitude's magical power, and despite her immense grief and pain, she looked for things to be grateful for. She began with the past, and she recalled all the wonderful times of happiness she had received through the decades with my father. Then she took the next big step, and she looked for things to be grateful for in the future. One by one, she found them. She found and remembered things she had always wanted to do but didn't have time to do when my father was alive. And this was the courageous step of gratitude. Opportunities to fulfil her dreams magically poured in, and her life became rich with happiness again. The magical power of gratitude gave my mother a new life. So is that, it's just really, I know when my dad died last year and my mum and dad had been together 60 years and you just can't imagine that level of loss, really, of after losing somebody who's your life partner who's been together that long, and it must be so hard. But anyway, for today's magical practice, you are going to look for a hot coal that is burning your life. So look for a hot coal that is burning your life. And what does she mean by that? And literally turn it into gold through gratitude. So choose one difficult, problematic or broken relationship that you want to improve. It doesn't matter whether the person is currently in your life or if it's a past relationship and the person is no longer in your life. It doesn't even matter if they're alive, because it's irrelevant almost, isn't it? Because you think the hurt that you've carried, even if the person's passed away from something in your past, you know, and you're still bitter and resentful about it. So pick one relationship that's problematic for you. Sit down and make a written list. This is one way it might take a bit of time, but don't be complaining, just get it done. Sit down and make a written list of 10 things you're grateful for about the person you've chosen. Think back through the history of the relationship and list the great things about the person or the great things you received from that relationship. The easiest way to do this is to think back to the way things were before the relationship deteriorated or ended. If the relationship was never good, then think hard about any good qualities in the person because they are there. Now, you might think, well, why would the relationship never have been good? I wouldn't have been with... It could be with a boss who you've never really liked, who never really liked you, but you had to have this relationship because you were the boss. So it could be something like that. This magical practice is not about who is right or wrong. No matter what you feel someone has done to you, no matter what someone said or didn't do, you can magically heal the relationship, and you don't need the other person in order to heal it. What a gift that is. Could be an old school teacher, you know, you've carried this sort of limiting belief about yourself all through your life and you've not done what you wanted to achieve. You've not even strived for it because something, a throwaway comment that your teacher said when you were 8, you know, it happens, doesn't it? It's so common, or something your auntie said to you, you know. So there is gold in every single relationship, even the difficult ones. And to bring riches to all your relationships and your life, you have to find the gold. As you dig and discover a nugget of gold, write it down, address the person by name and express your sentence in gratitude. So pick one person. You're holding this piece of coal, and I'm just going to read you her 10 examples and then we're finished. So she's picked somebody called Paul, who's, I don't know if it's true, a relationship. So you're right, Paul, so you're doing 10 gratitudes. You've hopefully already done your gratitudes today, but this is about one person who you've got a problematic relationship with, either current or past. So Paul, I'm grateful for our time together. While our marriage did end, I learned a lot. I'm so much wiser today, and I use what I learned from our marriage in many of my relationships today. Paul, I'm grateful for everything you did try and make our marriage work, because 10 years of marriage means you did try. Paul, I'm grateful to you for our children. The joy I receive from them every day could not be without you. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the hard work and long hours you put in to support our family while I was at home taking care of our children. It was a big responsibility to have all of us dependent on you, so thank you. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the precious moments I had with our children as they grow up. I got to see our children talk and walk for the very first time, and I know you didn't have that opportunity because you were busy working. Paul, I'm grateful for your support when I went through a difficult time of grief and loss. Paul, I'm grateful to you for the time when I was sick and you did your best to take care of me and the children. Paul, I'm grateful for the great times we had, and we did have many. Paul, I'm grateful that you want to continue to be a father to our children. And finally, Paul, I'm grateful for your support and the time you want to give to our children. I know they mean as much to you as they do to me. By the time you've finished your gratitude list of 10 things, you should feel much better about the person and the relationship. The ultimate point you want to reach is where you don't have any bad feelings towards that person anymore, because it's your life. Because it's your life that is harmed by those feelings. It's not Paul's. Paul probably doesn't give you a second thought, Rhonda. He probably never even thinks of you. And yet all the time you're resenting, pissed off, bitter. So all it does is harm you. So it's your life that is harmed by those feelings. Every relationship is different, and if need be, you may choose to repeat this magical practice over several days until you reach the point where you don't have any bad feelings towards the person anymore. If you are using gratitude's magical power to improve a current relationship, you will see the relationship begin to change miraculously before your eyes. It only takes one person to magically change a relationship through gratitude. But it is the person who uses gratitude who receives the benefits in their whole life. If you choose a past relationship where you are not in contact with the person anymore, you will feel a peace and happiness fill you. And at the same time, you will see other current relationships in your life magically improve. And if in the future, if a relationship becomes challenging, remember to use the magical practice immediately. You will stop the difficulties before they get any bigger, and instead you will increase the magic in your relationship. So that is today's task. Please do share it. I know it's something else for you to do, but surely that is worth 5 minutes of your time. Do write it down. Do it on a computer. You can just say it when you're in the car and think, oh, yeah, Paul, I'm really pleased about this, that and the other. But it's more powerful if you do write it down. So really do try, really do try and write it down and see what happens. So that's it for today. Oh, we've got a lovely troll on. They make me laugh, don't they? So just ignore. I'll ban them after this. It makes me laugh because we usually have a guy doing burpee challenges, and we finally got to block him yesterday. We've not been able to. I don't know why. He's been hanging around for weeks. He comes on every challenge I do. Sign up to my burpee challenge, and then there's another one now inboxing you for I don't know what she's doing. But I just think if they spent as much time in their own community wanting to serve and give value to their own people, they won't need to do this on somebody else's. It really makes me laugh. And I really feel for them. I really do. I just think, what a shame. What an awful way to run your business, because you don't get any real connection with people. I love the fact that all this is free. I love the fact that I'm getting so much from knowing that you lot are enjoying it and doing it. And obviously I've had the odd troll. I always do, saying what a load of rubbish. This is really shit. Picking up a penny doesn't help anyone. And I just think, what a shame for them. I do, and I get the way they're feeling, but the fact that they feel they can post on people, and when you can see so many people are getting benefit, I just think it's madness. But each to their own, each to their own. And I think doing the magic has really helped with that. A few years ago, and I'd have thought, bloody knobhead, cheeky get, how very dare they? You know, bitterness, how dare they? But I don't feel like that anymore. It's what they choose to do. But you just keep doing you is all I'm saying. So, yeah, I'll see if I can get them off the page. Because I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt, so I never block them straight away. You know, if they just do it once or twice, I leave them. Hopefully they'll go and annoy somebody else. But if they keep doing it persistently, which this, Mystic Meg is doing now, then she'll be gone, I'm afraid. So, but I'll send magic dust. As I press the block button, I'll send magic dust to her through Facebook and hope that she can find a more respectful way of running her business and trying to grow a community. All right then, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Magic relationships. Let's just see what you can do by healing this relationship, whether they're still with us, whether they're in a past, or whether they're current now. It could be a husband, you know. But just please, can you promise me one thing? Please do share it, but please promise me one thing, that you will never turn into that wrinkly old woman on Kilroy 30 years ago. Yeah, never spoken to her. No. Somebody does something wrong to me. That is it. Please don't be that person, because not only are you holding a coal, you are literally sat yourself on top of a big frigging bonfire, and that's where you choose to live your life. So please don't be that person. All right then, lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow. And I'll post sometime, I'll put some stuff on about the tribe for people who want to try. We do have a wait list, so the people who sign up to the wait list, and it's not a big thing, we'll just let you in a day early. We'll open it on Thursday. Probably, and then the rest, it's just going to be Friday. One day only. Jan, I've missed the troll. Clearly tuned out the negativity already. This gratitude is working. You are more than welcome, Jan. It is. I don't mind when they just troll me, but it's when they start going on other people's comments that I feel I have to step in. So if it's just a comment that's on the page, I just tend to leave them. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But if they start commenting on your stuff and annoying you, then yes. So one day only. Can't wait. I can't wait to see who comes in the tribe. There won't be many this time, but that's fine. But have a wonderful day. Lots of love. I'm off out walking soon, because that's something I still can do. And for that, I am truly grateful. Cheerio. Bye.